Voters who complain they don't have enough choices when they cast their ballots. There may be an alternative. It's called the Make Elections Fair Act, and it may appear on this fall's ballot. The act would amend the state constitution to do away with partisan primaries and replace them with an open primary. 13 News reporter Bud Foster has more on how it works.
Because there's a very small, usually highly partisan group of people who vote in primaries, they tend to choose the most extreme of the choices.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Which is one reason why politicians fight like cats and dogs among each other rather than working for a majority of voters. And that extremism has become more and more visible and less tolerated among the electorate.
And so we end up with a legislature that R's and D's don't talk to each other because on both sides, it's considered to be treasonous to talk to the other, or for heaven's sakes, to ever compromise.
The disgust among many over the hyperpartisanship is why the Make Elections Fair Act was able to gather nearly 600,000 signatures to get the proposed constitutional amendment on the ballot, many of those likely independents, who right now in Arizona have no home and are forced to pick a party if they want to vote in the primary.
I have the right as an independent voter to request either a Democratic or a Republican ballot that forces me to vote a straight ticket. That doesn't make sense. Just put everybody on the ballot. Let's get back to that. I think that will help us begin to solve our problems.
There will be pushback for the constitutional amendment. Opposing forces will first challenge the signatures and then the initiative itself. State lawmakers passed this bill, HCR 2033, last year, which will be on the ballot to oppose fair elections this year. But even some Republican members are not so sure.
As I've studied this a little further, I'm not convinced that it's the best decision for us to put to the voters.
Still, it passed on a party line vote. All Republicans for it, all Democrats against it, which is a perfect example of what fair elections say they're talking about, and it's very apparent at the top of the ticket. Many Americans say they're not happy with the choices they have in this election year for the White House. Fair elections say their initiative could put a chill on that.
The one thing it will do is say that no more partisan primaries. In other words, every candidate runs in every election and every voter gets to vote in every election.
And the supporters say that's what elections are all about. I'm Bud Foster, 13 News.
A reminder that early voting is underway for this month's statewide primary. The counties mailing out ballots this week. The July 30th election includes contests for the U.S. House and Senate, state legislature, and local offices. Independents can vote in the primary, but you must pick a party ballot to vote by mail. You can do that online at the county recorder's website. July 19th is the last day to request a mail-in ballot.